Monday nights, we live. UNFL season. That's right. Snap decision. You already know what it is. Yeah. Snap decision, yeah, we call it how we see it. You feel talk, yeah, you know we never keep a secret. Styling to the heart, yeah, we break it all down. Monday night, turn it up, yeah, we run this town.
It's a two-man crew today, y'all. Everyone bailed out on us, so you two
Oh, the
thankful.
DJ's getting in right now, so
Okay,
it won't
never
it won't
mind.
be a two man it won't be a 2-man show for too much longer.
Two-man show for 2 minutes, y'all.
Yeah,
But happy Monday, happy 420. Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
yeah.
But
Happy 420 to you. You know what? The
yeah.
only thing that I smoke is like meats, in my backyard. So, but
I mean that's the thing. I mean, smoke is something. As
yeah.
long as it's being smoked, you should be good. But yeah, happy Monday, everyone. We're back again. Um, Weekend of football was kind of interesting this weekend. Was
This
not as
was this
thrilling.
dude, it was a
I
great
don't know.
weekend. The games, but it was a very eventful weekend for
You think
just with
so?
news, just with news. You know,
Well, yeah, news, yeah, but I mean, like game wise, I think I just wasn't as thrilled as I was the weekend before. I was just like, I don't know. I felt like more teams should be clicking by now, but it's just, I don't know. Some are, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But it looks like it is going to be a two-man crew after all, y'all. So we just
yeah,
have to deal with it
yeah. That's all right. We
with
got
us
this. We
today.
got this.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, I think we start at least before the games is the news that the league released. What was it?
oh man, there's quite a
Wednesday.
few.
Wednesday
There's
with
quite a few.
the updated rule change
Oh yeah,
for the
look,
overtime.
after we just got done talking about, no, they wouldn't do this in the middle of the season. Like, and then for the Kings to have to go through it again.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. Like, I felt like it was like a double slap in the face for them. Like, not only did we change the rule after the fact, but now you got to do it. Now you have to deal with it all over again.
Yeah.
So,
Um. I'm surprised that the rule was changed. We talked about it. Um. I'm not mad that it was because it was kind of a bad rule. Uh.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of like I almost feel like if they're going to go and change the rule, they're kind of acknowledging it that it was a terrible rule, and I kind of feel like Orlando shouldn't really have that win. Like maybe make it a tie game. Like I don't know. I almost feel like it shouldn't have counted if it was such a bad rule that they had to change
Yeah.
it. 2 days after it happened.
I'm just
So
surprised that they did. After, I mean, literally, after
yeah.
you talked about they wouldn't do it, because then, what would happen to like, I'm surprised that they didn't, like, we didn't hear anything about them, like, contesting it, like, hey, wait a minute, what about this last game now?
Now I don't know if you caught it, but it was during the game, the Kings and Gamblers game. The player that was called for the defense of the final one, they kept calling him the rule changer, like on the
I never
broadcast.
paid attention to it, no. Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
that was so funny.
Oh my gosh. I can't even. I just know that, like, I was really surprised at that. What other news came out? I mean, like, there was a lot of trades happening.
A lot of trades yesterday. A lot of
Did you who put it?
Louisville released a
Larson?
bunch of players.
What did Larson say? The bean has been flicked.
What did he
That's
seriously say that?
literally how he on his Twitter it said the bean has been flicked.
Oh my god, I
To
missed
a
that.
new team, yeah.
I
Yeah,
did.
so
I don't. I'm
it
not.
was
I'm not
so
on
funny
Twitter. I'm not
where
on Twitter too much, so I totally missed that. Unless
yeah,
it gets shared in the group or whatever. But
yeah. Really freaking funny. But yeah, there was a lot of. I mean, it even to the point where like I kind of went back and forth on some of the picks just because I was like, well, this changes things maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like I'm not like DJ and you guys that know about like these players from before and the quarterback that's coming in place of him. Like I've never seen him play before. I don't know if he's going to be any better than Bean was. I mean, Fricole messed up a lot. I mean, we were calling him
Hmm.
Bean because like he has so much potential, but sheesh, like he
Yeah.
just could
Old,
not
old
connect
Bean did
ever.
just couldn't get it done.
Could not get it done like at all. What other ones happened too? Like,
So the first one was Matt Corral to
yeah,
uh
Birmingham to
yeah, Birmingham traded to Orlando.
Storm, yeah, to
Uh
Storm, which was
yeah.
surprising to me too. Like after their game, like that they made these kind of trades too. Um, that game was fun, funny to watch.
Dude, you
Just
know what?
because.
You know what? I am happy that the Brahmas are no longer the only team to be shut out in
Oh
UFL
man,
history, which
like
is really surprising. That
it
you know,
is.
I mean,
I'm surprised by
th-
Birmingham. Like I mean, I don't care for them, but I'm very surprised that nothing, like not zip, it was zero,
yeah,
nothing. I just don't understand. So,
yeah.
but it was fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie, McCarron's face like, throughout the whole thing. Like he just felt, I felt so bad for him. Like he's just so inexperienced,
And I
and
think at this point, like that's because they have a lot of talent. I mean,
they built his
Corral,
team up.
Coral Corral, however you say it. I mean, he was
Coral,
the MVP like 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago or whatever.
yeah,
Um, and does he really slip off that much? I mean, we got McFarland. They've got a great backfield. They got a great wide receiver core.
you're welcome,
I
Birmingham.
mean, it's yeah, yeah. At this point, you got to look at coaching for it, and what do you expect? The guy's a
I mean,
first year coach,
if they change the role mid season, maybe they'll. Yeah, you tried. Pat on the back. Maybe you need to. I think maybe he should have started off at a much lower level if he's going to get into coaching. He should not be a head coach at
Well, I
Birmingham.
mean, same can be said for Ted Ginn Jr. too, who just got his
I mean,
first
the
win
fact that
as a
he's
coach.
still there is like
Yeah,
mind blowing to me.
yeah.
Um,
But hey, you know what? It's a league of second chances, so hey,
is that what we're saying now? I mean,
I don't
a
know.
league of second chances. A league,
I don't,
a
hey,
league of.
whatever.
I mean, yeah, just seeing him out there, I was just like, that is so weird. Like, just, I mean, like, I'm wearing this shirt because, I was very surprised at the game. You know, well, we could just start talking about the game. So,
I
what
was gonna say you want to get into the
we had
games a
no
little bit.
Sunday. Yeah, we had no Sunday games. We had what, Friday,
Thursday,
Thursday,
Friday, and 2 Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, which was different also. It was cool having a Thursday night game. I mean, it was different, but,
Yeah, I mean, I'm
um,
used to watching NFL on Thursday night, so it really wasn't that weird for me.
yeah, it wasn't too
So
different. Um, but who was it? Kings versus Gamblers?
King versus the Gamblers, yeah. Uh, and I mean,
Well, I mean, it's hard to like I want Louisville to do so well. Like I want them to do better than what they did, but being that close, even like with Gamblers, like to be in another shootout situation with them. And Gamblers actually looked pretty decent for the first time. I
they
mean,
looked
a
okay. I
little
mean, they had a
bit. I mean, better
they
than
had a
what
good
we've
rushing
seen.
attack, but
Yeah.
oh, Tagovailoa, man, he just what did he? Because their main guy came back. Hold on, let me pull the box score, and then did he get hurt again or?
I don't even
Let me
know.
see. Yeah, so Nolan Henderson, because he was the starter And then he was out last week, and that's when Tagovailoa came in. And then he started again this week. I think he got hurt again early in the game.
Sheesh.
So
That's all he's
he had
known
to
for
go
is just getting hurt.
apparently. But I mean, between just over 100 yards passing, that's pretty bad, and like 50% completions. A pretty good rushing attack, but that was what their entire game was.
It was just, I'm not gonna lie, the games were just boring this weekend. I mean, that game, it was, yeah, great to have Thursday night football, but it was boring. Besides the fact that there was a shootout again at the end and Louisville won it this time on the same type of incident, almost.
Yeah,
It's just, I'm happy for them, but it was a very boring
yeah,
game
I
for
am.
me.
I'm glad they got their first win.
Yeah, at home.
Houston still looks terrible. I mean, Louisville hasn't looked terrible. They've just gotten,
No.
kind of the raw end of the deal, a lot of the times. But
And it's
they
also
haven't
like
looked horrible. But
maybe it's like the new team jitters. Like
yeah,
you're now seeing some of the newer teams. Like I'll give it to I can't say the same for Storm because they're coming in with a seasoned coach, but like the Aviators and Kings, they need some time to like get it together, I feel like, and
yeah,
maybe now like that we're at the halfway that it's starting to click for them because I mean I felt the same. I feel like Louisville has looked really good, but they just haven't been able to connect. But that was a boring game at the end of the day. And then what was next? The next day we had
Dallas
Dallas
and
versus
Columbus.
Columbus, which was very surprising.
Yeah,
Columbus,
kind of. I mean,
eh?
I did say last week that I almost picked Columbus in my picks, uh, just because of how. Why am I not surprised that you did? I almost picked them just because the way they played Dallas the week before, and I don't know. I should have kind of stuck with my gut and picked them, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was
Again,
surprised by it. Like I am surprised by Dallas too. Like just the last two games, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I like they have such a good quarterback right now. Like I don't know, something's going on over there for them to be
maybe
playing as
maybe it's
it,
Columbus because it's both of his worst games were against them. Maybe they have a defense that just kind of matches up well for them, or maybe teams are
maybe.
kind of starting to figure them out. Who knows?
Oh, disappointed. Okay, so then shortly after that, okay, what game was it that had like the three 50+ field goals? Field goals. What game was that?
That was Louisville Houston.
Oh yeah, just to mention that because look, that was news that popped out today that our Dallas Cowboys kicker, old UFL Birmingham, is now the highest paid kicker in the NFL.
Yeah,
So there's a reason why they've made some changes to the rules for kickers because they are the ones doing very well in the NFL right now compared to a lot of the other ones that are making it. But shout out to them.
yeah.
But
And I
yeah, then
mean,
we
I
had
think we've talked about it a lot. That's why you see a lot of these special team players coming in from this league. I mean, they obviously Aubrey, Jake Bates,
yep.
the guy for the Rams, the thicker kicker. You had about two or three others that were they show them just about every game. The kickers that are in the NFL. So right now that kind of seems a position that is the easiest to make the move over.
Yeah. I mean, but, like, three kicks replacing you. Um, St. Louis and Defenders, like, heck yeah, that was a game. That was a good game. That one was
That
probably
was
the best one out of
yeah.
all of them. Like, it was a good game. Um, it was a little battle, but I am very happy that the Defenders beat St. Louis.
And really, I mean the the game it looked the score was a lot closer than it really seemed like it was
Yeah.
because I know St. Louis kind of had a chance. Obviously, it was only a 4-point win, but man, it just felt like they were dominating. DC was dominating that entire game. I mean, really,
Oh yeah.
most of St. Louis offense or their yardage came from that one freaking 80-yard route that Hakeem ran, the screen pass that he
Yeah, that
broke
was
a
it.
tackle and ran for 80 yards. So and then there was the other one that was like another 40-yard pass that Frost was just like, screw it, Hakeem's down there somewhere and chucked it up. So
Look for the
that
fall
was
guy.
like 80% of their offense. I mean, hey, and there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. You got a 6'5" receiver, throw it to him every day. Hell, that's how
Heck yeah.
Johnny Manziel, made it through college and won the Heisman. So it's all right. But it just, DC just looked, head and shoulders better than St. Louis, more
I'm
so
kinda
than the
glad DJ
score reflected. Do
Oh
what?
yeah. I said I'm kinda glad DJ ain't on right now. I don't want to see him. I can already hear him already. He was at the game too, so he's
Yeah.
definitely gonna be making a lot more UFL games than a lot of us will be making.
Well, because he
But that
has a
was
team in his backyard, so
yeah, he has a team. Lucky him. Lucky him.
I'm not
And then
traveling to Houston or Dallas every week, so
oh heck no. Especially Houston. Hell no. They're not getting any of my money. And then of course the very last game, Orlando versus Birmingham, which was a crazy blowout. I
yeah,
mean, it wasn't even a crazy blowout. It was just very interesting. Like I said, I feel like AJ just could not get it. He just I feel like even when he was like talking to his team and like looking back at the film and what the play that just happened, like he just could not give them any really good feedback on what to do or how to change things. I don't know. I think there might be time for a coach change.
yeah, possibly. I mean, I don't think there's never been a head coach change in the well, other than Wade. Well, I don't know. Did
But that was
Wade?
because of health.
That was health reasons, but that was even kind of at the beginning of the season, kind of before. I don't. He never actually really coached a game, did he? Last year. But
I don't know.
I don't know because I know there was kind of the first one that they kind of it was kind of a last second scratch. I guess he did technically coach the second game in St. Louis, but that was when he was up in the box the whole time and just kind of
Yeah.
not really into it. You could tell he was kind of kicked back a lot. So what maybe, but yeah, but he was still technically the head coach.
Kick back a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Now, disclosure: I didn't watch the first half of the Birmingham Storm game.
I mean, it's not like you missed
oh,
much.
Yeah, I was over at my parents having lunch with them and stuff and hanging out with them, and I came back. I got back in the truck in halftime, turned it on, and it was like whatever 13-0. I was like, all right, I don't really need to go back and watch it. I'm just gonna watch from here because haven't missed anything.
Oh, I missed all of the games except for Thursdays and rewatched all of them on my own. Oh yeah, defense was very. Brahma Babe happened to be at that game in her the BB tour. You can catch them at a stadium near you.
I don't know
Her for
where's the
sure.
where you going
Well,
this week?
we're let us know where you're going to be at this weekend,
Yeah.
Brahma Babe. And you may catch a glimpse of Brahma Bro. Sometimes he's there. That would be amazing, right? I mean, I don't know, taking a mental health break. An actual coach is going to step in. I have no idea. That is crazy.
Orlando.
She'll be. Oh, well, I mean, that's a good game. Isn't that what's? We'll
Yeah.
talk about that in a minute when we get into picks and junk like that. But you could catch Brahma Babe in Orlando. That's her little, her home state there. You know
Yep.
her. She loves her and her Gators. But let me pull up the infamous the thing that gets so many people riled up, like, let me tell you what, I find it so funny um, that people really think that we're analysts. Y'all, I'm just a
Analysts or
girl
media or something like that. Like,
or bots or something. Like, can we just be fans that make up our own power
yeah,
rankings? And then, like, that's just wild to me that we got told these in some of the fan groups. So, FYI, we are not analysts. We are not anything. We're just fans that have been doing this for a hot minute. So it's not like we're taking it lightly. Actually, I think it's much better this season because we don't have the Brahmas in an emotional sway like we did before. Because regardless of how terrible they were, like we believed in
yeah.
them.
Well, so the Brahmas that they never affected, the fandom never affected the power rankings, but they just
No, it
they
didn't.
absolutely affected my picks. So
Yeah, that's the reason why. I mean, I think that's why I'm doing so well this season because I don't have, I'm trying to get this picture to my computer and it's coming out. I think that's why I'm doing so well this season. Like, hello, here we go. So just to remind you guys, is this week? What is going on with all this? I'm telling you, the weather's going, no, it's this week 4. We're on week 5, right? Week 5? Week 5.
yeah, week 5, going into week 5.
Okay, here we go. I got it pulled up now. So yeah, again, when we do these, go ahead and explain to how we do this, because every time we talk about this, I get confused as hell, and I'm just like, yeah, because I'll argue how I feel about certain things with the guys, and I'll be like, I don't agree with this. I think this should be over here. Why is it so big? Okay, there we go.
There you
I'm
go.
like, man, why did they cut it off? Like, some, like I'll argue with them, and as long and how we've always done it, if there is the majority that rules over something, that's the way it goes, no matter how I feel about it. Because you know what? It was nice to see in the comments how some people were like, why isn't Dallas number one? I'm like, period. That's what I was talking about. Like, I wanted to say that, but I'm a team player. So again, I argued about Dallas on this one, and this is the first time that I'm like, I think they should be lower. I think they should be number 4, not number 3. But that was just me being emotional at just how terrible the playing was. But let's talk about your power rankings here, because
So
again,
yeah, so
we
the way kind of
switching it out.
the way I do my power rankings, when I look at it, I'm looking at how good is the team kind of at that moment. I take the last few weeks, kind of into consideration, looking for trends, just seeing, hey, are they, have they been playing good? Have they been playing crappy but still getting wins, or have they playing really good, losing, kind of stuff like that. So it's not strictly a ranking or a standings. That's why
Yeah,
DC is ahead of Orlando, because I think DC's been playing better than Orlando has. Obviously,
yeah,
Orlando had the really good game against Birmingham, was shut them out. Well, Birmingham, as you can see, has been playing like trash. Hell, even week 1, they only beat Louisville by 2 points, and then the next week after that, they lost to Houston. And I've been waiting for Birmingham to show me that Houston game was a fluke, and they haven't done it. They've
yeah,
continued to a terrible game. So right now, Birmingham's the worst team in the league.
yeah.
That's how I how I look at it. And then Houston, they're right above it. They've played okay a couple games. Obviously, they beat Birmingham.
Yeah.
Louisville, Louisville's been in the games, but they do enough stuff to lose. Kind of curious. These were all
Enough
made.
stuff to lose.
Yeah, yeah.
The best way to explain it.
Bean Dip kept throwing interceptions at the end of the game. So
Yeah.
these were all made before all the trades. So I'm curious
Yes.
what, what the
It
new
could
Birmingham
shift a lot.
quarterback, what he's going to bring, the new Louisville quarterback, what he's going to bring. So, they may be completely different next week just because of, the recent additions. Louisville, Dallas, Orlando, DC. I will say, so Orlando has played good, but they haven't played the top teams. They played
Yeah.
Birmingham, they played Louisville twice. And then they played Columbus. Columbus was the first team they played. So they've kind of been playing the bottom teams in the league, and that's kind of going to continue for them until I think week 6, week 7, and then they play DC, Dallas, St. Louis
That's
like
when
3
it's gonna
weeks
get
in a row.
interesting.
That's where we're really going to start to see, hey, is Orlando like a for real team, or are they just good enough to kind of beat up on the bottom of the league and
Yeah.
stuff like that?
You know what's
So
gonna be terrible is that if Orlando does the new St. Louis, like he gets them all the way there, but can never get the championship. Wouldn't that
yeah,
suck?
I mean that's
And maybe
Beck's
it's not.
MO.
Maybe it's
So
yeah. I feel like man, that would really stink. Like I would hate that for some of our guys, for some of our Brahmas that are on there. But that is how we do our power rankings, people. It is
yeah,
not standings. So don't argue with us that well, this team is 3-0. Blah, blah. We know that. That's a
yeah.
given. But that's not how we're looking at it. So our
And
rankings aren't going to be the same as what UFL posts or any other.
Jackie, I know you saw all the crap that we were being told, after our rankings last week.
Oh Lord.
And I absolutely, because what was it? Dallas should be number 1. There's no way the DC should be number 1. Why is
Mhm.
DC ahead of St. Louis? We beat them week 1. All that stuff. Are you absolutely sure that I went in after all the games and was like, well, it looks like we were right?
So that is why now we will post our power rankings on Mondays ahead of the show because of how much everyone likes to argue with us. We'd love for
Yeah.
you to come on and argue with us here. Tell us why you think we're wrong. Like we aren't pros. We're just fans that watch football. And I'm sorry, sometimes your team sucks. Like we've had this season. Like, come on. The very first
Yeah.
season of
I
the
mean, hey,
UFL, we've been there.
I,
We've been number 8.
I think that's Birmingham right now.
Yeah, like come on. Like it's not like it was funny to see in some of the comments like DC fan or I'm like, I ain't fan. Nobody calling me no DC fan. Talking to the wrong
Mm-mm.
person. No way. So yeah, those are the power rankings for this week.
Yep.
So yeah, fun. Um, we can get right into it. Like this may be a short show because it's just us two. We get straight to the point, y'all. It's not like we have things like we did before, like when we had Horns 4, like there was always something a little bit more because we were,
We had to talk about the
community
game that we were
stuff.
at
And
and the experience, and
yeah,
yeah,
now
I'll
we
tell
don't
you about
have
my
any
experience
experience.
watching the games from my couch, but
I sat on our couch comfortably. I paused the game. I fast forward through
yeah,
commercials. It was the best. Like,
you
and
know,
I was really
I-
sad. This was the one weekend I didn't see any Brahma Baby Brahma bro in videos. I was like, what? Where are my people at? So that
so
was very odd.
before you kind of mentioned that 'cause obviously Rama Babe, she's over here getting more airtime than these halftime artists. I did not see it. Again, I came in after halftime or whatever. So this was the last big halftime show for like the home opening weekend.
Oh yeah, Gucci
Uh,
Mane.
and I heard a
He
lot of
sucked.
people talking trash about it, saying how
It
bad it
was
was.
terrible. It was terrible. Terrible. Like even watching, I was like, ew. I fast forwarded. Like I expected so much better, but I get it. Some of these productions, like as musician and knowing like playing in a soccer stadium is there's no acoustic, there's nothing to help out. I'm sure it was hard to hear. Like I can give all kind of
Excalibur,
um
you're absolutely right. Can always bash St. Louis.
oh that's never gonna change. I don't know why. I don't think I picked them once this season, and that's not because it's emotional driven either. I mean, still. But yeah, it was a terrible halftime show. Like I was just really surprised. Like, but it is going to be nice to see how numbers really reflect because the stadiums have been looking pretty empty. They haven't been looking that great either.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, Birmingham. Hey, shout out to Birmingham. They had
oh yeah,
18,000 show up. That was the best attendance they've ever had.
yeah,
Obviously, it thinned out in the third, fourth quarter when they
yeah.
realized they were
Brahma
going to
Bro
lose.
was texting me
But
a lot saying, "Man, you should see how empty it's getting in here."
yeah,
Uh,
but I mean,
here's
yeah,
a Brahma.
who are the home teams this week? Houston. Well, you're not gonna have a high attendance on a Thursday night game, just like Dallas with the Tuesday night game. You know, especially in
Anything on
a
a
city,
weekday is terrible.
especially in a city like Houston or Dallas, where the traffic is complete garbage and it takes 3 hours just to get somewhere. Um, so you can go ahead and just count those as week attended games.
Yeah, that's
Columbus,
what I feel like XFL Mike is like. A
yeah,
lot of this is really driven right now for TV ratings more than it is. I mean, I feel like Rapoli really like hit on wanting the crowd out there, but sometimes I feel like, man, the days you put these games on, how are you gonna get a crowd out there? That's more for TV at this point.
yeah.
So
Unfortunately, though, it's still we're in year 3 of the UFL, and it's not a priority. You know,
mm,
for the venues. I mean, that's why Dallas had a Tuesday night game. That was the only day that it was available. So
that's
it's
crazy.
yeah. So it's like and I get people over here complaining on all the posts. Why do they have them when there's professional? When there's baseball going on? Why do they have it when there's this going on? They
It's
play Houston
spring.
played Thursday night with the Astros had a game. UFL is not the preferred sport right now, and it's going to be that way, you know, probably for the next few years. And that UFL will
Oh
eventually
yeah.
get laid and build up. Right now they're going to have to survive mostly on TV revenue, which I mean they do. It's like Mike G said, pretty solid TV viewing numbers, and it's been like that pretty much for most of the season. So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
It is spring
Exactly.
freaking football.
You're not gonna get NFL numbers again. You know,
But
10
even then, like even
10,000
Dallas this
is
year,
probably what you want to shoot for. For attendance wise, you get that,
yeah,
you're good.
and even then, Dallas sacrificing not only a Tuesday game, but they're sacrificing one of their entire games to play on a military
Yeah.
base, which is super cool, super super cool.
Which,
I
hey,
hope
you know
to
what?
see
Good for
a
them for
full
doing that for Dallas, because
stadium.
obviously it was probably similar to what we had last year, where the
Mm,
stadium was only
It
available
wasn't
for 4
available.
games, and you know what? Instead of sending Dallas to St. Louis for a freaking game, they put it a couple hours south, or at Fort Hood.
Fort Hood,
So
yeah, Fort Hood. So
hey,
there
I
are
wish they would have done that.
stipulations to be
Wish they
able
would have done that to us last year, but
for real. But where would they have been able to play? Like what other like I mean Fort Hood would probably have been the same instance. Even then, taking it somewhere else like military where they have cadets, everything like they could fill that stadium up with so
yeah.
many military people that have never been to a game.
And I think I
I mean,
think I think it's a great idea. Like
same.
support the troops, man. Give them, hey, you can get on base. You got a free ticket to this game.
Yeah, they don't pay a
General
dime.
admission. I think it's awesome. So
Yeah, so it's gonna be cool to watch that. That's their last game, right?
I think so. Not their last game, but their last
Their
home
last
game.
home game, yeah.
I think it's week 8 or week 9.
But if you haven't, definitely check out online. Um, so really good job to the UFL for even making that something possible for military
Yeah,
people.
it's week 8. So
You have to be able to access the base to attend the game. It's mostly for on
yeah,
base personnel. So yeah, perfect. So here we go, y'all. We changed it up a little bit at the request of BD because he wants to be able to visually see. So this was our picks from last week, y'all. Those are our winners right there. Everybody that's circled. Look at all of
Dang,
this.
dang.
Look, I am really surprised, and he ain't here to fend for himself. So, DJ, what in the world? He got one right this week, this past weekend. I mean,
Yep. That's what. That's probably why he didn't show up tonight. Sure, his kids got practice. Yeah, whatever. He was embarrassed. That's what it was.
don't be blaming on my little homies over there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
look at this scoreboard, y'all. Look who are tied. But look who's beating a boy. That's the real reason why DJ didn't want to be on, is because a girl is beating him this season. It's because he's all emotional for DC. That's why.
That's what it
He just
is.
went
That's
from
what it is.
Ramos to DC. He's not picking smartly like he should be. But this is the current scoreboard right now. We got a tie between BD and Jay. So, and if you were on last week and didn't say anything about my math not mathing right, you guys suck. I had an extra game. Somehow the math came out to 13 games or something like that. So
Yeah.
thank you,
Thanks,
SSL Mike.
thanks, Mike G for catching that.
Yeah,
You know what? I don't. Like I
nobody
said,
proofread me.
going into it, looking at it, I knew that I was 9-3 for my picks. Because I was 3-1 every week, and you popped up
Didn't
10-3.
say
And I
nothing.
was like, yeah, that looks fine. Just didn't just right over my head. Didn't even
Didn't
think
say
about it.
nothing to me. Nothing to me. Anywho, so for week 5, um, well, as usual, we all got DC for this first game. Um, I mean, I would be very surprised if it went any other way than that, if I'm being quite honest. So, here's where things get interesting is our St. Louis Storm game. And I need a whole explanation for that one white box. Go ahead, sir. Please tell me why you ruined a perfectly good scoreboard here with the most random pick. When I
You
saw it,
know,
I said, "Excuse me," and I had to reread it twice just to make sure I saw it right.
I think Orlando is due for a loss. Again, they haven't played the best team, so we don't really know how good they are. They've, again, barely won. Won because of a stupid rule in overtime a couple weeks ago. I mean, they beat Birmingham. Birmingham's terrible this year. So I am not sold on them. And I think St. Louis is still a good team. I think they have some quarterback issues. But again, they've got a 6'5" receiver that their quarterback just needs to chunk it down the field to. And, they got a good run game and they got a really good defense. So I think Orlando's due for a loss. And you know what?
Oh no!
This is where I think they're going to take it.
You think that St. Louis is gonna upset Orlando in Orlando?
I do.
You think Beck's old team is gonna come in and beat Orlando?
I sure do.
I almost wish I wore my Storm shirt today. I debated. I literally was like, but I
Although
didn't.
probably
So
while you're there, if you can get me a towel, please.
no.
I need
He
one
don't
for all
need
the
one. He
teams.
picked the Battlehawks. He doesn't need one. You shouldn't have picked the Battlehawks then if you want an Orlando Storm rally towel.
Whatever.
Oh, just kidding. So yeah. Um, for the rest of the board, you can imagine that somehow we all thought the same except for the one game. So again,
Hey, you know
BD
what? What happened the last time this happened? It was when Jay
when
picked the Battlehawks,
it was a
and
4-4.
he went 4-0. So
This could determine a front runner this week. That's
this
the
this
best
will
part about it.
This
is
will
who.
absolutely determine who's going to be number one in the picks.
So this is going to be very interesting to see, because again, Jay was the one that ruined our perfect board last time, and now it's you. So of course you guys would do this. So um, we shall see how this weekend pans out. Because good old touchdown Jesus bobblehead trophies here waiting
So
to be
we're kicking off
redeemed.
Friday night this week.
Friday
So
night this week. So yeah,
yeah,
we have what Friday, Saturday, 2 Sunday games.
yep,
Or yeah,
yeah. Friday, Saturday, two
um,
Sundays.
yeah, and those Sundays should be back to back, 11 and what 2,
Uh,
a normal people time,
yeah,
not
yeah.
future, not
11 and
future
2.
time.
So I'm just kind of making sure it's not gonna interfere with. Ooh, well,
With
Sunday's
what?
game I'm gonna have to watch that later because Spurs got a playoff game at the same time. So
Whoopee. But anywho, so yeah, that is our picks for this coming week. Other than that, I mean, what else you got? Because
I mean, is there anything you're looking
I ain't
forward to
got
seeing
nothing
this
else.
week with the
I
matchup?
mean, I am looking forward to the one game that you ruined for us. That's probably the biggest one because of it being Beck's old team against Beck's new team in Beck's new home. Like, I think that's the biggest one. And I think the second one, I honestly think the second one would be the Dallas and Louisville. Like, that's the one game where I probably should have said that I was kind of unsure if I wanted to go with Renegades. Like, I almost picked Kings for it
Yeah.
just because of, yeah, they haven't won. They've only won one game, but they've just been so close. And I feel like, oh, maybe they're finally starting. And now that they've got a new quarterback, who knows? Like, I don't know. I kind of regret it just a tad bit that I didn't, you know, pick them now. What if that? What if I didn't pick them? Oh man, now I
You know,
regret
I
it.
think I don't know. I think Dallas again. They played bad. You know, well, they played bad last week, and they played not what we had expected the week before.
I
I
mean,
think
that's
this is
2 weeks
probably a
in a
game.
row.
Yeah, I think this is probably a game where they're like, "All right, guys, we need to get our shit together." Like, you know,
But what
we're
if
gonna
that's
play good.
Louisville? Like, oh, we finally got it now. Now we got the
Hey, maybe
quarterback because
they got the
Dean
win.
is
They got the
gone.
win. They got that monkey off their back. They're like, "All right, we're going
Yeah.
now."
Now we gotta. I
Maybe.
mean, I don't know. Can I change my pick before the game starts? Like, now I'm kind of rethinking it. Ugh. If they win, I'm gonna kick myself
That's how I
because as
felt
much as
about
I would
Columbus
love,
last week. So
as much as I want Dallas to win because that's too, like I said, yeah, I'm gonna back Dallas this season. Well, no. What about you? What are you looking forward to? Which game?
you know, I think I'm the same. You know, St. Louis and Orlando. Obviously, I picked St. Louis. I want to see how good Orlando really is, and this is probably the best team that they've played so far, or they're going to play so far. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious how they actually fare. I mean, DC Birmingham. Beginning of the season, you would have thought that would be a good game. But God, Birmingham is just so bad. Again,
No.
let's see,
Yeah, it's
let's
gonna
see
be
what
an
the
easy game for
new
them.
quarterback does.
I feel like it's gonna be such an easy game for them for DC. Like I just have no faith in Birmingham, even though they have such like their coaching. If your coaching staff is not put together, it shit rolls downhill.
And you and that's what's so bad. I think even a little bit with St. Louis's problems as well. Like I get you hear I guess kind of how AJ Smith's talking to some of the players and just real like kind of demeaning them, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah.
You kind
That's
of
what I
hear
was
that.
saying. I think it's a him problem. I don't now seeing him with a different team, like maybe it was never about the coaches he worked with. Maybe it was really a him issue. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's a great coach, but he doesn't know how to talk to people. He doesn't know how
Hey, you could
he
be a
knows
great
the
coach, but you can
game,
also
but
be
he
kind of a
can't coach.
douchebag. So,
Yeah, like he
like,
knows the game, but he can't coach people. Like he doesn't know how to talk to them
yeah.
to be able to coach them
And
through.
and I think that's a little bit of McCarron's problem too. Is just having an issue coaching. And you know what? We saw
I
it.
just
We
think
saw
that's
it last year.
inexperience.
You know, as much as we love Party, as great of a guy as he was, as smart of a guy
Yeah.
as he was, we saw last year a coach that was in his first year of coaching. So, it's a real thing. And I think that's Birmingham is getting that right now. So,
Yeah. And I also
there's
think
probably
that
going to be some
now,
hard times. And,
oh, for
hey,
sure.
he learned from it.
I also think that like Party is now in a position where he probably should have been more than where he was as a head coach. Like there's still a ladder to be climbed. Like you get like that's why I feel
Yeah.
like AJ McCarron, like you can't just go from a quarterback to coach. Like when have you ever coached a team?
Yeah,
Have you even
exactly.
coached kids before? Like what do we go what are his credentials that we're going based off? That he was just a very well loved player. At one point he was gonna run for
He
whatever.
ran for governor. He was going to run for, or yeah, governor or senate or something like
And then
that.
because he got an offer from the UFL, he decided to pull out of the race. Like, you should have just stayed, running for Congress or whatever the heck, for a school board, whatever the heck you were running for. Because
Yeah.
coaching ain't the thing right now. It's either that or you drop yourself down to like offensive coach or something, a QB coach, something like that, before you step into those type of shoes. But yeah, who knows? What if he changes everything around, they win? Who knows? What am I talking about? I always say, this is a girl on a floating rock. What do I know? Besides the fact that I am beating the one coach in our little
Yeah.
podcast here. A girl is beating a guy, so I'm very happy about that. And I will take it with me all week. That's why he didn't show up, is because I beat
That's
him.
why he didn't show up. That and he was 1-3 for the week. Just he
He
couldn't
was just
handle
not
it.
going to show face. I hope you watch this back and you hear all the shit we talk about here. But other than that, I got nothing else, brother. What about you?
No, not really. I don't know. A couple of the obviously the trades that happened yesterday. St.
Yeah.
Louis, they released a couple other players on their left tackle and left guard who had played 100% of the snaps for them this
hmm
season. That was really interesting. And they released a running back right before that, but I think the running back was kind of, wasn't doing very good. So
Yeah.
that was just really weird. Louisville, he trade the starting quarterback, released one of the running backs, and then
Yeah.
dump your two top offensive linemen. I say top offensive linemen, two linemen that have played the whole season. It was really, really weird. So I'm really surprised at that. And then I've kind of posted it in our chat. But the one guy who posted who posted on Twitter that he was leaving the team because he wanted to work out at home instead of deal with the madness.
Oh yeah, that he wanted to leave Birmingham because he would rather work out at home than be coached by.
Yeah, Perry and Winfrey is what his name. So his tweet was, "Sorry, Stallion Nation, that staff ain't it. I'd rather work out at home than deal with that madness. Giddy up. Good luck this season."
Yeah, so I don't know.
Now, kind of some reports, after the fact.
We talk Keesman now. We
Mike,
didn't
you
used
say
to
great
before.
running back. He's got 72 yards on the season. So, I mean,
I mean,
I don't know.
that's a really bad loss for Birmingham, who stink right now. So
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that just shows you that shit rolls downhill. If your coaching staff ain't it, it's gonna roll down. Like, and your players see that.
Now I think there's still some, maybe, I don't know, because I believe it was Larson who posted. So he was actually released. Larson said that he was released by Birmingham after trying to trade him, but nobody wanted to trade for him. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows?
I mean, there's
But
even
yeah,
the ones
but still,
the tweets of players being blacklisted and been trying to
yeah.
get on a team and they can't, like, no one's returning phone call there is so much
Ricky,
drama. There's always drama.
Ricky Pearson Jr. said, he's had multiple teams try to reach out, but the league isn't allowing him to sign. Why? I have no idea. And then, Frank Ginda, which I don't know who that is. I know who Ricky Pearson is, but I don't know Frank Ginda. That doesn't sound familiar to me. But again, he said that he's had a bunch of coaches trying to sign him, and the league's not allowing it. So I'm curious, one, if the league would respond. Two, if they do, what do they actually say? So I'm curious. That came out yesterday or this morning.
Yeah,
I think
it
this
was
morning is when I
today
saw that. So I'm
when
curious
all
what
the
the league
drama
says
came
about
up.
that, if they do at all.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they'll entertain it at all. They're just gonna let these players just run their mouth. I mean, he's not even part of the league anyway, so it doesn't even
Yeah,
matter. I mean, it could just be a player just trying to get attention. You don't even know. Who knows? But
yeah,
it is what it is. You ain't playing. Try again next season, I guess.
yeah.
Try to
But you
calm
know what?
down.
Hey, it's kind of some of the drama you're getting in, and I'm here for it. So
Mhm. I mean, yeah, before we never talked Chiefs, man. Now we do. Like, we're all for it. Give us all the gossip that goes on between these teams and coaches and players. Like, I love
I mean,
trying to
we'll
read
talk.
their lips when they're
We
cussing.
don't talk like rumors that are unconfirmed and stuff, but a little bit chisme here and there. We've never been above that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Just only in our chat. But we're like, we're not going to talk about this live.
Yeah.
But anywho, so you guys, Texas Talking Footballs go on tomorrow
Yep.
at
We'll be on tomorrow.
8 p.m.
8, yes, 8 normal time.
8 people normal time. Our friends and alternative football panel go on tomorrow at 9 p.m. normal people time. So make sure you catch them, follow them. Um, they talk football too. They got their own little um, I don't know. What do you guys got going on tomorrow? Y'all got some more Toro
I
people coming on?
I think we have a Toros guest coming on.
Yeah, because the season's getting really close for that also.
It is. It's just over a
Like
month
around the
away. So
corner. A month away?
yeah,
Oh
it's
Lord.
the end of May.
I didn't know. I did not know it was going to be that close. So yeah, if you guys aren't following them, definitely follow TikTok Football. They'll have some guests for our team here, San Antonio Toros, our friends in alternative football panel. They've got a lot going on. They go over statistics. They have their own power rankings, their own picks weekly and stuff, and they're just a group of guys that you've probably seen in all the group chats
Oh yeah.
that come up with some of the cool stuff. They all have their own little specialties, I would say, you know. But yeah, really cool group of guys. We catch them tomorrow at 9 o'clock. But other than that, thanks for hanging out with just us two. I mean, we're probably
Yeah.
the funnest two. But we will definitely post we already got our rankings pick. We'll definitely post our picks for this week.
Yep.
And we'll catch you guys again next Monday.
Yep, for sure.
See y'all later.
See ya.